Hi everybody and welcome to another exciting episode of the Ungrownups video transmission. I'm your host Mark, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Batman 1966 Batman and Robin 2-pack collector set. Now, I am super excited about this line of figures, mainly because the very first time that I ever saw Batman on screen was this show in the 60s. I'm 37 years old, so of course I wasn't around in the 60s to see it, but I did see it in syndication on Nick at Night when I was like sometime in the 80s. And I just remember thinking, wow, this is really awesome. Like, I never knew that, like, my parents, like, had a Batman and Robin show that came on TV. So I just remember that being really cool. So I am extremely excited to get this line of figures. I've gotten pretty much every one of them pre-ordered except for Penguin. I'm just not really digging on that character design. Can't wait to get the Riddler in. He's actually the one I'm looking most forward to, and then Catwoman, and then probably Joker after that. And I hope this line continues for a while. But this 2-pack with the wall climbing superheroes here is the only way you can get Robin. At this time, they do not have Robin planned for a single release figure. I'd be willing to bet he would be the first figure announced in Wave 2, probably along with, I could say, probably Mr. Freeze would be another one I would love to see. That would be really cool. Maybe even like a multi-pack of just generic thugs, you know. I think that would be fantastic, but we'll see. I actually picked this set up from Amazon.com. I'm an Amazon.com Prime member, so I had free shipping. But this is also currently available on Big Bad Toy Store, and we encourage that you pick them up from there. You can find a link down below in the About section. So you can see that Batman and Robin are climbing up the side of the wall here. That's not actually a rope that comes with them. It's just a piece of paper that's been twisted like a rope. This is typically what you would find holding in like Transformers in their package. On one side, you can see you've got Batman running at camera, just like he did in the opening of the TV show. Got Robin on this side, bat symbol on that side, information on the bottom, and just a really cool shot of Batman and Robin shaking hands here on the back. You can see the other figures: Batman, Joker, Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman, and then Surf's Up Batman. I'll be skipping that figure as well as the San Diego Comic-Con Bat-2C Batman. I'm going to be skipping that. I really don't need my Batman dancing or my Batman in surf shorts. So why don't we get these guys opened up and take a closer look? Okay, so here we have Batman and Robin opened up out of the package, and I got to tell you, I am extremely happy with these figures. They look amazing. I am, like I said, a huge fan of this classic series, and for them to finally, Mattel finally get around to making figures from this line is just, it's absolutely amazing. I'm very, very happy and excited, mainly just to buy and open and play with a new Robin action figure. Robin's not somebody I think that gets a lot of attention in the action figure world. I loved him in the Superpowers line, and I love the classic Robins that were released by Mattel in the new Batman Unlimited line a couple releases ago. So a couple of waves ago, rather. So I'm really excited to get a new Robin because I'm a huge Robin fan. So that's really exciting. There are a couple downsides to these figures. I will go ahead and get those out of the way now because they're very few, and I really just want to gush over these figures. But one thing I will let you know is that the package comes with a really nice cityscape backdrop, which is awesome. I would love to be able to use that as a display piece behind the windows on the wall mount right here. But the way that the package is sort of put together, you pretty much destroy it getting the base out. So had there been like a little card insert they could have thrown in the back that wasn't, didn't have a blister card, glued down to it, that would have been really nice. And the fact that you don't actually get a rope, but you get this very stiff, very rigid piece of black paper that's sort of been twisted into to make sort of a twine. Like I said, anybody who collects Transformers will recognize this stuff. This is exactly what Transformers figures are sort of held in their packages with. So these things are actually really familiar. So I can't wait to actually get some rope in there and, kit these guys out with some grappling hooks, because those kinds of things would have been really nice to include. The other thing that I'll point out that I don't really care for is, whoa, just took everything out, is how each one of the capes come with this huge tag in the back, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Those, of course, will be coming out. But the capes are particularly nice to note that they are, and each one of the capes sort of comes with that little information, but you'll notice that each one has each side of the cape has a metal rod in it that is bendable, so you do get to pose your capes, and that's definitely for the wall walking sequence, if you do want to pose these figures as if they're climbing up the wall. So why don't we look at these guys individually and take a look at them up close and their articulation. Okay, so right before we take a look at the articulation on these guys, I do want to show that the only really accessory these guys come with is a teeny tiny little batarang. It's really bright blue. It doesn't really fit in with the color scheme of Batman. You can see it's a much brighter blue. And, you know, if I'm not mistaken, I believe his batarangs in the show were yellow. I could be mistaken. It's been a really long time since I've seen it, but I think they were yellow. I would have loved it if they would have come with a rope, like an actual rope, like a threaded rope, not paper. You know, maybe some grappling hooks, something like that. That would have been really cool. One of the things I loved about this show was the practical gadgets that Batman actually carried in his belt. I always thought that was really fantastic. So, you know, grappling hooks, that would have been fantastic. I may even end up painting this thing yellow if I go back and find out that it actually was yellow. But if it's blue and I'm mistaken, please let me know in the comments below. I'm sure you will. The other accessory, if it can be called an accessory, that they come with is this piece of wall here. And we're not going to go through it too much. You guys know the trick with it. The windows do open up. That's kind of cool. They fit in there really tightly. But there are foot pegs here and here, and you can either, it's got as you can see right here on the back, it's got a little place for a peg if you wanted to hang this up on a wall, and you can have them wall walk, or you can just lay it down and have them walking and use it as a sitting base. So that's pretty cool. They included that. They didn't have to, and they did, and I really appreciate that. Just me personally, my taste, I would have rather had weapons or accessories than the wall, because I'm not going to put a nail up on my wall just to hang that. These guys will probably just stand on my wall. So let's take a look at these figures a little bit closer. As we've talked about, each one does have a wired cape, and that is so that the capes sort of hang down if you have them walking up the wall. So the articulation with these guys is basically the same articulation with any DC Universe Classic figure. You've got the head is on a swivel, not too much up and down, have a nice torso ab crunch right here. Are the figures articulated at the waist? I guess they are. You just have to break that new plastic seal. You've got a ball joint at the top of the shoulder. There's a cut joint at the bicep. Regular standard joint at the elbow, and at the wrist, you've got a 360-degree cut joint. You know, the DC Universe crotch and hip action that is pretty standard at this point. You've got a lower thigh, not an upper thigh, cut joint, standard single joint at the knee, and then the foot is not on a rotation, and it doesn't rock, but it does have some very nice up and down. And that's really the only motion I want for somebody who swings through the air, is a nice pointed down foot. So Robin has got a pretty nice set of articulation points. Like I said, they're pretty standard DC Universe Classics articulation points. Pretty much the exact same thing here on Batman. His head, of course, on a swivel. Does have some up and down, not a whole lot. I would have liked a really nice backward motion for both of the heads. That would have been really cool. A nice little ab crunch. Cut joint just below the belt, so the belt turns with the upper torso. Standard articulation in the arms, and again in the legs. Some nice, like Movie Master style hip joints here, where they go out just below the hip, not at the actual hip, unlike Robin. So, and that maybe is just really weird looking because of the way his pants are, or his shorts. So, pretty standard DC Universe Classics articulation. I'm actually really looking forward to the Batmobile that's going to be in scale that they're going to release with these figures. As I said before, I'm not really looking to get the Penguin, but I'm really looking forward to getting Riddler and especially Catwoman. Joker, not so much. I mean, I'm going to pick him up because you got to have a Joker with a Batman, but the Riddler, the Frank Gorshin Riddler, really looks fantastic. So why don't we just zoom in real quick and look at the detail on the head sculpts, and we'll wrap this review up. Okay, as you can see, the head sculpt on Robin is probably some of the softest detail on the figure. You can see there's some very crisp lines on his logo and on the stitching on his shirt, tunic, I think is what it would be, and some very nice lines on his belt and all of his little accessories, the little capsules. But the head is a little soft on the sculpting and the sculpted details. It looks more like in line with the movie masters, sort of more mass production figures. A little bit of paint slop on the side of his mask there, but you know, some nice paint applications across the eyes and the mask. And you know, I'm going to be really lenient on any Robin figure that comes out. I'm a fan of classic Robin, whether it be from the show or the comic, the Jason Todd run. I'm a huge classic Robin fan. So to buy and actually get a new Robin figure is absolutely fantastic for me. And like we said before, currently, this is the only way to get Robin is in this 2-pack. I'm sure he'll be the first figure up on deck for a Wave 2, which I'm sure will come in the future. But for now, the only way to get him is, like I said, this 2-pack. So let's get Robin out of the way and take a look at Batman. Everybody wants to know how good Batman looks. So taking a look at Batman here, you can see some really nice sculpted detail. I got to tell you, the more and more I fiddle around with these capes, I'm less and less of a fan of them putting metal in them. I may actually see if I can go in and remove those metal rods, because I just think that the way that they bunch up around the neck, you can see here, it doesn't, you know, that's kind of ridiculous. But the sculpted cowl looks awesome. Nice paint job, really like that. And if you can get in there and look, you can see that the eyes are not actually, you know, painted on the mask. They're sculpted and they're inset, just like a face would be underneath a mask. So that's very, very nice. It's nice detail. Love that classic Batman logo on the chest. And you can see how, just true to the show, that the belt buckle is huge and gold and even has a faint bat symbol on it. If you can see that or not, I'm not sure that's picking up very well, but very faint, just like the show. Pockets look great. The belt looks awesome. Looks really, really good. You know, one of the things I loved about this old classic suit is that it actually looked like a costume that he put on, and not more of a natural extension of his body. So I really like that. And yeah, I'm gonna have to take these cables out of these capes. So yeah, these figures are just fantastic. I just can't say enough about them. I'm very happy that the old license is now available. I'm hoping that we get the series on DVD or Blu-ray soon, and I'm really glad to get some of these collectibles, and I'm really looking forward to NECA's 18-inch version of this, which I don't think I'll be picking up, but I will be picking up the Hot Toys version next year of both Batman and Robin. So that review will be coming sometime in the future. 2014. So as always, you know, we're going to ask if you dug the video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Be sure to check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/ungrownups, and check out our podcast, which is new every 3 weeks, and you can stream that right off of ungrownups.com, or you can download it at iTunes. So until next time, peace.